Righto, Tellyo there champs, and have a look at this. This is the Zephyrus M16 Wolf. Now I don't know if ROG or Asus intended this, but this may be the unicorn laptop. And have a look at this display. I'll get into the display first. First I'll just go through the specs. This has a 13900H processor, so it's not HX because it's thin and premium. You're not going to get a HX in this. It has a RTX 4070. You can get a RTX 4090 in this, and it's 140 watt. And if you want something premium, thin, and not, gamery with RGB all over it, and if you want to say a MacBook Pro 16 or an XPS 17 or 15, this is better than those in my opinion, because this, over a Mac, it can game RTX 4090 if you want, and of course it has more power than XPS 17 and 15, yet it's still thin and premium. And yes, this is what I would want, something nice, thin, premium. It's got all the power I want, and it's not a big, thick, chungus sort of laptop. But things get better. The star of this show is obviously this display. This to me is what makes this so special. This is a mini LED display, 1024 local dimming zones, 1100 nits peak brightness. Now, I measured over 1200 nits peak brightness with this thing. And this is sort of HDR because I've put it in HDR mode. But not only is it mini LED, I measured 1200 nits peak brightness, HDR, all that sort of stuff. It's also 240 Hertz with a 3 millisecond response time. Just absolutely nuts. So this is actually in HDR mode. So HDR mode is on. Now watch this. So this is a HDR video. Comes up Dolby Vision, right? It's graded HDR Dolby Vision. That's how I grade it. Go check out my other channel. I'll leave a link in the description if you like fast stuff, motorbikes and stuff like that. Check out the description to my new channel. But anyway, this is HDR Dolby Vision, right? And it's playing perfectly here, like the video file. And now, actually, here's the channel. It's called Fika. I'll leave it in the description, as I said. But now you can play this in HDR, even in Edge, Chrome, whatever. And it's proper HDR, man. That's exactly how I saw it when I edited it. So, man, this display is absolutely awesome. And the fact that it's not only, HDR 1000 nits peak brightness, it is 240 Hertz, 3 milliseconds. Wolf, that's what you want. Now, Windows isn't the best for HDR. Like, for example, that looks a bit dull because it's, displaying SD content in HDR mode, and just Windows just doesn't do things well. But if I put something HDR on, you can see straight away the pop, right? So you might have to switch in between HDR and no HDR just because Windows doesn't handle it well. But as you saw before with that content, the HDR content, no problem whatsoever. Dolby Vision HDR, it plays it no problem. And look at the weapon there, wolf. This display is also 1600p, has one M.2 slot there, it has 1 terabyte SSD in there, has Thunderbolt, everything I want, Dolby Atmos audio. Now, the Dolby Atmos thing, I gotta tell you, it actually works on this laptop. I can hear it swirling around, the sound. It has a 90 watt hour battery. It's only 2.1 kilos, so 4.63 pounds. So this is probably the unicorn laptop, 90 watt hour battery. And look, man, I got to tell you, if I'm in the market for an XPS 15 MacBook Pro 16, well, it's better than MacBook Pro 16 because it can game, right? It's got the display that is as good as the MacBook Pro 16, even better because it's 240 Hertz and 3 milliseconds, where if you done this on the Mac display, you'll get drunk because it's such a slow response time on the screen. So the only thing that's got to check out for me is the battery life. I've got to check that out. The gaming performance is going to be there. There's Firestrike for you. I've just done that quickly. It is loud in its full performance mode. It's like 59 decibels, but it's in silent mode now, and that's a good thing is you can put it silent or not silent. So the gaming performance is going to be there. It's not going to perform like the bigger, thicker gaming laptop. It's 140 watts, and yeah, if you get the 4090, it's good for content creation because you get the extra RAM, etc. I'm not going to buy an XPS 15 or 17 over this now because this is the premium. It's got the weight I want, 16 inches, everything's perfect. This display, I've got to say, it's got to be the best because the OLEDs, the 240 Hertz OLED doesn't get this bright. And the Mac display is slow, like it is 120 Hertz, but the response time is slow. So this is better for viewing content and for gaming, HDR, proper HDR gaming now. So yeah, check this thing out. Stay tuned for my full review. I gotta say, what a laptop. What a laptop. It is awesome.